This is the real Silent Hill. In the small town of Centralia, Pennsylvania, something strange has been happening for the past 60 years. The entire town is burning, but nobody is there to put out the fire because nobody is there to begin with. Welcome to this town where the streets are made of gold, but only ghosts can walk on them. It all started back in 1962 when a mine fire broke out in the anthracite coal seam that runs beneath the town. Mine disasters were not uncommon in this region during the early 1900s, and this particular mine had already burned for 2 decades before it was finally capped off in 1960. But somehow, 2 years later, the mine beneath Centralia reignited. When the fire started, the town's 1,200 residents had no idea that they were living above a fiery grave. But within a few months, the mine fire consumed so much oxygen that the air in the town became unbreathable. Homes were evacuated one by one until every single resident had to leave their town. But nobody knows exactly what caused the fire or where it even started. All we know is that once it ignited, the coal seam acted like a giant chimney and sucked in more oxygen from the surface, fueling the blaze. Now, over 6 decades later, the fire still burns and the town is now a toxic wasteland. If you want to visit the town today, you have to sign a waiver saying that you won't hold the government responsible if you get sick from the toxic fumes or fall victim to the unstable ground. That's because the fire has released dangerous chemicals into the soil and air, including carbon monoxide, sulfur dioxide, nitrogen oxides, and particulate matter. These pollutants have also contaminated the town's water supply and made it undrinkable. And it gets even stranger. The ground beneath Centralia is littered with giant sinkholes that form whenever the burning coal severs the land above it. But instead of collapsing into the holes, most buildings simply vanish. That's because the fire has eaten away at the foundations of every structure in town, turning some buildings into complete skeletons. And yet others just seem to disappear without a trace. There have been several attempts to put out the fire over the years, but none of them have worked. In the early 1980s, crews tried pumping 4,000 gallons of water into the mine every minute, hoping to suffocate the fire. But after pouring 15 million gallons of water down the mine shaft, the fire just kept burning. They then tried digging a series of relief wells to intercept the underground fire, but this only caused more sinkholes to form. By the end of the 1980s, the government had spent $130 million trying to put out the fire, but it was still burning, so they finally gave up. Today, Centralia is nothing more than a ghost town filled with abandoned homes and eerie skyscrapers. According to scientists, the fire will continue to burn for another 250 years.